guys, it's Mrs. Voslovic here. As promised, I am putting up a review for you on things for our fraction test. It's also a good opportunity for your parents to figure out how we're doing things in this newfangled math way. So here we go with the review. Remember to please pause the video so that you have a chance to try out the problems before I explain them. Here's the first problem. What is the area of the rectangle below? Please pause the video and try this problem. Here we go. Please remember that area equals length times width. We're figuring out how much stuff is in the middle, not around the outside. That would be perimeter. In this case, our length is 5/6 and our width is 3/5. Now we just multiply across. 5 times 3 is 15, and 6 times 5 is 30. We can simplify this down by dividing both the top and the bottom by 15. 15 divided by 15 is 1, and 30 divided by 15 is 2. So our area equals 1/2. Oh, and these are in yards. 1/2 square yards. If you didn't get that, go back and check your work. True or false? 4 1/5 plus 5 1/2 equals 10. Go ahead and pause this and solve. Remember that when you're adding or subtracting, the denominators need to be the same. Right now, they are different. We have a 5 and we have a 2. We need to use that catchy song to remember, multiply the bottom and top by the opposite denominator. I know you love it when I sing to you. Here we go. We're going to multiply 4 1/5 by 2, leaving our whole number the same. 1 times 2 is 2. 5 times 2 is 10. Leave the 5. Multiply 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. We can now add. We end up with 2 plus 5, which is 7. Denominators stay the same. 4 plus 5 is 9. Does 9 7/10 equal 10? No. So it is false. True or false? 13 3/5 minus 11 1/3 equals 2. Go ahead and pause and solve this problem. Reminder, this is subtraction. Our denominators need to be the same. They're not. You can use the same song to multiply the bottom and top by the opposite denominator, and that will tell you how to get these to be the same denominators. Leave your whole number the same. We're going to start with 3. 3 times 3 is 9, and 5 times 3 is 15. Leave the 11. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. We can now subtract. 9 minus 5 is 4. Denominator stays the same. 13 minus 11 is 2. Does 2 4/15 equal 2? Nope. So this is false. If you didn't quite get that, go ahead and try it again. True or false? 2/5 times 1/3 equals 2/15. Go ahead and pause and solve this problem. When you multiply fractions, you don't need to do anything special to them. You just multiply. You multiply across the top and you multiply across the bottom. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 3 is 15. Does 2/15 equal 2/15? It sure does. This is true. Again, if you did not get this, go back. I know some of you probably tried to flip that 1/3 into a 3. Remember, you only do keep change flip if it is a division problem. True or false? 7 divided by 1/3 equals 7/3. Go ahead and pause and solve this problem. This is a keep, change, flip problem. It's division. Remember, keep, change, flip. Yeah, that's the action. Everybody's going to know how we're dividing fractions. Again, my lovely song for you. We're going to keep 7, except we're just going to put it over 1. Remember, you can put any whole number over 1. We're going to change division to multiplication, and we're going to flip 1/3 to 3 over 1, giving us an answer of 21. Does 21 equal 7/3? Nope. This is false. If you got 7/3, you just forgot to flip 1/3. Remember, keep, change, flip. Let's look at the next problem, number 7. Number 6, slide 7. Look at each fraction. Can it be placed in the box to make a true inequality? Select yes or no. Remember, inequality just means less than, greater than, or equal to. Go ahead and solve A, B, and C. Did you press pause? There you go. Alright, welcome back. 3/8 times each of these numbers. We need to see if it's less than 3/8. Remember, when you're multiplying by a fraction, your number is going to get smaller. If you're multiplying by an improper fraction, where the numerator is bigger, your answer is going to get bigger. If you're multiplying by a mixed number, your answer is going to get bigger. And if you're multiplying by 1, what's going to happen? That's right, it's going to stay the same. Sorry for the not neat handwriting. I really need one of those things, one of those pens for the iPad. Maybe I'll get that this weekend. Alright, so let's look at these. 4/3. 4/3 is an improper fraction. So if I put 4/3 in there, it's going to make 3/8 bigger. It's not going to be smaller. So that's a no. If I put 4/4 in there, that's just going to make me multiply by 1. So 3/8 is going to stay the same, not be smaller. So that's a big old no. If I multiply by 1/4, 1/4 is a fraction, which means it's going to make 3/8 get smaller. It's going to be less than 3/8. So you want to circle yes. If you didn't get that quite right, make sure you look back in your notebooks. We did this in our interactive notebooks a few weeks ago. Also look at your study guides, your purple study guides. On to the next question. Classify each product below as less than 2/3, equal to 2/3, or greater than 2/3 by writing each expression in the correct box. It would probably help if I did the boxes. Whoops. Let's do the boxes real quick. So this is going to be the box that says, okay, welcome back. Here we go. Less than 2/3, equal to 2/3, greater than 2/3. Let's look at this first one. 2/3 times 1/6. We're multiplying 2/3 by a fraction here. 1/6 is a fraction. So remember, when you multiply by a fraction, it's going to make your answer smaller.
Mrs. Gardner, please call the office. Mrs. Gardner, please call the office.
There we go. There's some lovely announcements for you. Go ahead and do the rest. Pause the video and then start right back up. Alright, let's look at the rest of them. 2/3 times 8/3. 8/3 is an improper fraction. Therefore, it's bigger than 1. When you multiply a fraction by a number that's bigger than 1, it's going to make it bigger. 2/3 times 3/5. What is 3/5? Is it a fraction, an improper fraction, a mixed number, or 1? I really hope you just said fraction. So if it's a fraction, it becomes less. 2/3 times 4. What is 4? A mixed number, a fraction, an improper fraction, or 1? 4 is a mixed number because it is a whole number. That's not 1. Since I'm multiplying by a number bigger than 1, my answer is going to be larger. 2/3 times 7/7. Remember on your study sheet how I wrote like 8/8 equals 1 and 1,000,000/1,000,000 equals 1? This is why. You're multiplying by 7/7, which means you're multiplying by 1, which means that your answer is going to be equal to 2/3. 2/3 times 5½. What is 5½? 5½ is a fraction, a mixed number, improper fraction, or 1. I hope you're screaming, mixed number, Miss V, mixed number, because it is a mixed number. When you're multiplying by a mixed number, your answer is going to be greater. You didn't have to do any math there. You didn't have to do any multiplication out. You just have to know that when you are multiplying by a fraction, your answer is going to be smaller. By a mixed number, or an improper fraction, or a whole number not equal to 1, it's going to be larger. If you're multiplying by 1, it's going to be equal. Remember that. Learn it, memorize it. Alright, last problem, or second to last problem. Savannah's room is a square. The length of each side of her room is 2 1/3 yards. What's the area of her room? Landon's room is a rectangle. It's the same area as Savannah's room. It's not a square. It's a rectangle. What could be the dimensions of his room? Go ahead and pause this and take a few minutes to solve it, and I'll see you in a couple minutes. Welcome back. I really hope you drew a picture to help you do this, help you visualize it. Here's Savannah's room. That's not very good square. Let's make it a little more squarish. There we go. It is 2 1/3 on each side. It's a square, right? I know that they're all equal. Area is what? Length times width. So I'm going to be doing 2 1/3 times 2 1/3. Can I do 2 1/3 times 2 1/3? I really hope you're saying, no, you can't. Those are mixed numbers. You can't multiply them. You need to change them into improper fractions. 2 1/3, remember to do it. You're going to do 3 times 2, which is 6, plus 1 is 7. 7/3 times 7/3, which is going to be 7 times 7 is 49 over 9. Don't leave it improper. Make sure that you change that to a mixed number. You want to think about how many times 9 goes into 49. So we're going to go ahead and do the division out. 9 can't go into 4. 9 can go into 49 5 times. 5 times 9 is 45. I'm left over with 4. Remember, 4 becomes my numerator, and my denominator stays the same. In this case, it is 9. So Savannah's room is 5 4/9 square yards. Landon's room is a rectangle. It has the same area as Savannah's room, but it's not a square. It's a rectangle. Rectangle, rectangle. Remember, a rectangle has opposite sides equal, but the inside is 5 4/9. Area still equals length times width. So I think the easiest way to do this type of problem is to say, well, the length is 5 4/9, and the width is 1. Okay, draw that picture to help you out. Easy peasy. Last problem. 4 people are sharing a bag of chips that is a half full. How much of the bag will each of them get if shared equally? Let's draw our picture. Here is our bag of chips. It is only half full. And here are my